Hello again! We're getting close to not just one, but 2 new releases. The updated and expanded edition of the Ultimate Guide comes out on October 31st, and A Starless Clan No. 4, Thunder, is released on November 7th. So this video will be about everything we know about the Ultimate Guide. I'm still working on catch-up news videos from this year. It's a lot of information to sort and write about, but I have them almost all written at this point. So this one was originally going to be about both of the upcoming books before it got too long, so it'll just contain info about the Ultimate Guide, and Thunder will be in its own video. Now, some copies have likely made their way into the public at this point, since the official Aaron Hunter Books Instagram announced that they're selling them early at New York Comic Con this weekend. But as of writing this, there is no spoiler thread out yet. We first became aware that there would be a new Ultimate Guide when they held a short story competition in December 2022, and the official rules mentioned that the winners' names would be in a dedication in the 2023 edition of Warrior Cat's Ultimate Guide. About a month later was the official reveal with the cover and blurb. Step inside the Warriors world with the ultimate update to the Ultimate Guide to the Cats and Clans. Celebrating the 20th anniversary of Aaron Hunter's #1 best-selling series, this new edition adds 10 years of plot developments, new characters, and exclusive stories that can only be found here. Features include new full-color art and profiles of more than 85 of the most important warrior cats, an insider look at each of the clans, the stories of how Bramblestar and Tigerstar received their 9 lives, an exclusive never-before-seen glimpse at Firestar and Greystripe's view from StarClan, and more. So yeah, the main takeaways were new art, additional characters, updates to reflect events that have happened within the last 10 years, and at least one new story about Firestar and Greystripe's view from StarClan. The first view we had of the actual content was a post on Instagram where they flipped through the book. This gave us a glimpse of some new art, an idea of how the book is formatted, and some full versions of the heads they used on the novellas and Super Edition reprints. There were 3 major things fans noticed about this teaser. Number 1, not much seems to have been updated. The majority of the text we can see in it is word for word the same as the original, with some of the original text being trimmed down a bit. But they don't always add more information in places you'd expect it. Notably, Briarlight and Sandstorm's pages seem to not contain any information about their deaths. Number 2, not all of the art is new. And I don't just mean the fact that they've reused the book covers. We quickly noticed that Ragged Star here is just a flipped, recolored Greystripe from Greystripe's Vow. I don't want to lay blame at the artist for this one. He has done some great art for the series, and in all likelihood they might have only given him a tight turnaround time to get all these extra portraits done. But it's still disappointing that we didn't get entirely new art. And number 3, the pelt and eye colors seem to have been picked using a color select tool from Owen's art, which is fairly accurate in some cases, but very inaccurate in others, since the lighting obscures the colors. So, for instance, Ivypool is apparently brown instead of silver tabby, and Dovewing is now pale brown with gray eyes instead of gray with green eyes. And just after we got all that drama with her eye color figured out. While Ragged Star's art may have other explanations for why it is the way it is, this one I can think of no other reason than just laziness. It takes just one moment to look at the allegiances of the books, check the wiki, which cites the books as sources, or even just look at the official site. It's a shame that the book has to contain information that is just blatantly wrong when it's so easy to avoid it. Anyway, within the last week or so, we've also seen excerpts of the book put out on Kobo and iBooks, with the iBooks one being slightly longer. The new things in this are the full art of Goosefeather and Spotted Leaf, new art of Brightheart and Cloudtail, and these 3 pages that include new art, which gave us plenty to speculate on. I'll come back at these at the end to go over the cats we can see. Oh, also, apparently Blue Star, the blue-gray cat with blue eyes, is now white with green eyes. It also contained the table of contents, which gives us a much clearer picture of what to expect in this book. From ThunderClan, a couple cats sharing pages have been removed. We have just Goosefeather instead of Goosefeather and Featherwhisker, and just Greystripe instead of Greystripe and Millie. We also have the protagonists of Arcs 6 and 7, Alderheart, Twigbranch, and Bristlefrost, although it seems they're not including the Arc 8 protagonists here. In ShadowClan, Russet Fur and Boulder no longer have pages. They've added the cats Rowanclaw, Needletail, Petalshine, the current Tiger Star, and Shadowsight. WinClan section is still disappointingly small, demonstrating the need for a main series WinClan point of view. Arc 9, come on! Anyway, instead of Nightcloud and Breezepelt, it's just Breezepelt, and they've given Hairstar a page. With RiverClan, they've only removed cats. Misty Star and Mothwing just have their own pages now, instead of sharing with Stonefur and Willowshine. With SkyClan, they've only added cats. Hawkwing, Pebbleshine, Violetshine, Tree, and Rootspring each have their own pages. And Frecklewish was added to Echosong's page. With the early settlers, they've removed the pages for Storm and Turtletail, and Gorsefur. Animals outside the clans is now just cats outside the clans. No longer includes Midnight, Fallen Leaves, or Smudge and Princess. Scourge just has its own page instead of sharing with Bone, and Darktail has been added. And lastly, there's additional content at the end. Bramblestar Speaks, the new code, the new Warrior Code, and Firestar and Greystripe, the view from StarClan. So overall, they've removed 15 characters, though most were just sharing pages anyway, and they've added 16, plus 2 new stories, and what I'm assuming is the official listing of the current Warrior Code, which they've shared on the website before. Speaking of WarriorCats.com, the official site put up a gallery of art from the new book, although it was removed almost immediately. Fans did grab screen caps before they were removed, though, so here we have Cragware Eagle's Nest, Echosong and Frecklewish, Half Moon, Hairstar, Mudclaw, Nightstar, Rock, Rootspring, and Stormfur and Brook. And then lastly, they've put teaser quotes on the official site. Quote 1, "After that, you are both very heroic, I'm sure." Quote 2, "Are we still us?" Quote 3, "We're clanmates no matter what happens." Quote 4, "We're proud that you lost your life thinking of another cat." And the last one from the book page, "Every cat's got a story. One of the great things about being in StarClan is that you can see all of their adventures, not just your own." These 5 quotes are almost certainly all from the stories about the new code and Firestar and Greystripe in StarClan. The first quote, I'm picturing Firestar and Greystripe sharing memories about something they did together, and someone else comes along and butts in with that comment. The second one could be either Greystripe wondering if they're still the same cats in StarClan, or Bramblestar wondering if changing the code is changing the clans. The third one, too, could either be Bramblestar thinking about his current clanmates, or Firestar and Greystripe still feeling like part of the clan despite being in StarClan. The fourth one is probably Silverstream and or Millie and or their daughters Briarlight and Feathertail telling Greystripe that they're proud of him. And the last one is most likely someone like Firestar telling Greystripe about what it's like being in StarClan. So yeah, I'll admit that I'm a bit disappointed with what we've seen with this book, with the lack of care with the pelt and eye color situation, and how little new content we've gotten. Only a few additional characters, with almost as many having been removed, lack of updates on at least some of the characters that need it, and only some new art, at least one of which is just an edit of an existing image. For something that should be the ultimate guide to a beloved series for its 20th anniversary, it feels rushed and slapped together, and it's frustrating to imagine how much better it could have been. I feel this one is more of a collector's item than anything. Anyway, I'll finish up by scrolling through the images from the excerpt and label the cats we know already from the cover art and teasers, and my guesses as to the remaining ones with the guesses being in parentheses. Thanks for watching!